It's amazing to think that two of our greatest children's authors, Beatrix Potter and Roald Dahl, actually met. Beatrix was in her mid-50s when Roald, aged 6, turned up unannounced at her farmhouse in the Lake District. We know this because Roald later told a friend. He also told that friend what Beatrix said to him when she found the young lad on her doorstep asking to see Beatrix Potter. Well, you've seen her, now buzz off. It's this improbable but true meeting that provides the inspiration for Sky's heartwarming new Christmas special, Roald and Beatrix, The Tale of the Curious Mouse, starring Dawn French. And yes, those exact lines are in there.
What on earth are you doing here anyway?
I've come to see Beatrix Potter.
Well, there you go. You've seen her now. So you can buzz off. Go on, scram!
There's more to their meeting, of course, a lot more. But since little else is known about what actually happened, the writer of the comedy drama, Abigail Wilson, had to use her imagination. Based, of course, on extensive research into the two authors, as we shall see. I'm glad that Beatrix Potter's work has stood the test of time. It's 120 years since The Tale of Peter Rabbit was first published, and people are still making TV shows about her. But why do her books continue to captivate generation after generation of children? I think it's because they feel a little dangerous. They're not just pretty pictures of talking animals. I definitely remember those books from when I was about 4 years old. Now, how long ago was that? Oh, I can remember so well my mum reading me Peter Rabbit and Squirrel Nutkin. I loved them, but I was also a bit afraid of them. There are scary bits in them. Mr. McGregor chasing Peter Rabbit, the owl catching Squirrel Nutkin and pinning him down. Well, the people who've made Roald and Beatrix, they've conjured up something of how Beatrix Potter thought and the things she might have done. And they know that however fanciful the scenarios in her books, they were always rooted in reality.
Have you actually read any of my books?
Well, of course.
Well, then you will know that the animals I write of may well look sweet. They may well wear petticoats or bonnets or little pale blue jackets, but the world they encounter is all too real.
A keen observer of the natural world, Beatrix Potter drew from life. She even used her own home, Hilltop Farm, in The Tale of Jemima Puddle Duck. There's a lovely scene in Sky's Christmas special where young Roald arrives there dressed in the same bright blue jacket as Peter Rabbit wore in the books.
It's exactly like the drawings, Mama. Exactly. Look.
I can see.
Thank you.
And there are animals everywhere. Beatrix finds a dead mouse in her shoe, which she pops in her pocket to use as a model for illustrating 3 blind mice. Most bizarrely, she keeps a pet pig in her house. It's strange, but it's true. Beatrix Potter really did have a pet pig, on whom she based Pigwig in The Tale of Pigling Bland.
Has that damn pig of yours been in the house again?
No, not that I know of, no. Why? I beg your pardon.
Beatrix.
Beatrix didn't marry till late in life, at 47, to a country solicitor named William Heelis. In the Christmas special, he's played by Rob Brydon, and we see him encourage her to buy land at Troutbeck
Farm.
That's true too. Beatrix bought swathes of the Lake District to preserve it from development. And she really did suffer from failing eyesight, as we see here when her husband tries to get her to wear spectacles.
Everything's getting a bit foggy on the fells these days.
Regardless of the weather.
Well, there is some clear evidence for age-related macular degeneration.
He means old lady eyes, doesn't he?
I also love how Roald Dahl is depicted. He died 30 years ago at the age of 74, having written dozens of novels, short stories, non-fiction, poetry books, and even the screenplay for the James Bond film You Only Live Twice. But this is his origin story, if you like. For one of my children, Fantastic Mr. Fox was the first book he ever read entirely on his own. The fun and trickery of the story seemed to tug him through the book. It's amazing to watch, it's magic. I could see that these stories, and not forgetting the poems, were naughty, irreverent, crazy, and sometimes even felt a bit dangerous. I've heard and seen children doubled up with laughter, weeping, amazed at how Roald Dahl could have made up such incredible stuff. A child thrown out of the window of a classroom, pheasants eating special raisins that make them fall out of the sky, the mouse in the sweetie jar. Well, you can think of loads more, I bet. That's how books can work. They leave memories of incredible moments that stay with us for years. Keep your eyes and ears open when watching Roald and Beatrix, The Tale of the Curious Mouse, because there are all kinds of clever references to his books.
Excuse me, sorry. But I was actually next in line.
Oh, were you indeed, you little pest? Well, you ain't next in line anymore, are you?
But I was. What a horrid lady.
Tell me about it.
Wow.
You should try living with her.
What are you laughing at, you nasty little brat?
Of course, that will remind you of the fantastic Mr. Fox. But how about Bill Bailey as a kindly train driver who makes friends with young Roald while he's waiting for a train to the lakes?
I'm a bona fide gent, and make no mistakes. Despite the shonky garms, I'm not short on the old lollipops, if you follow me fathoms.
He describes himself as a bona fide gentleman. BFG. Get it? What's particularly touching is Roald's relationship with his mother, played by Jessica Hines, and that's very true to life. Roald was very close to his mum. After his father died, she was his rock, a strong woman by all accounts. She took all 5 of her children on sailing trips to Norway, and Roald recalled that she was never happier than when the waves were roughest. Roald wrote to her regularly for 40 years, from the age of 9 until her death, and she kept every single letter.
Will you come with me?
Darling boy, if I come with you on every adventure you have in life, you'll never have any stories to tell me, will you? Now go, start your adventures now.
As you can tell, I loved Sky's Christmas special. I think it's both funny and sad, and at times a bit mysterious. I like the way we hop between the two worlds of when Roald Dahl was a boy and Beatrix Potter miles away in her house and garden, till one day the two worlds meet. And there's great acting, not in any particular order. There's Dawn French, Rob Brydon, there's Jessica Hines, Alison Steadman, Nina Sasanya, Nick Mohammed, and that great cameo role by Bill Bailey. There's a lot of snow about, just right for the Christmas season, plenty for all ages to enjoy, think about, and chew over. When you watch it, you'll see a story, a fantastic one. It's fair to say the people who've made it have, added bits to the basic story that is true. Roald Dahl met Beatrix Potter. I really love that they've kept some of the dark humour, the hint of danger that made the books of both writers so thrilling.
Happy Christmas, Miss Potter.
You can watch Roald and Beatrix, The Tale of the Curious Mouse, on Sky from Christmas Eve.